first question I've just received there is someone asked that how can we get the watch list document? Yeah, this document will be shared on our platform. So the WhatsApp or the Telegram group, the management team will inshallah help us upload it as soon as we hopefully end this lecture. So yeah, that's the question number one I've sent there. So then let me see those people who are raising their hand. I'm going to start from above. So I'm sorry, I don't know who raised first. So I hope you understand that. Mr. Blakim Olafemi, you have the floor. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khairan, Prof. May Allah continue to increase in knowledge. My background is language and linguistics.
Okay.
I deal a lot with what they call it data we call words, texts,
Okay.
text data. So then again, lately I added what you call multimodals, where you add pictures, videos, you analyze them.
Okay.
So I just want to know which of these I can learn to be able to do research using machine learning. I quickly did a Google of, you mentioned Wika for us this morning, and there are lots of other tools for machine learning. I can see PyTorch, TensorFlow, Wimi and all that. And my investor also mentioned some. I just want to know which one will you recommend? And maybe in subsequent presentations, you also consider those of us who are dealing with text data.
Okay.
Jazakumullah khair.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, the number one, it depends on your. The good news is most of the algorithm we discuss, they can deal with both text and also numerical. So that's okay. Even Wika also can deal with both text and numerical. So it depends on the level of your kind of programming capability. Like I said earlier, so programming should not be a barrier for somebody to use AI or machine learning. So if you know how to program, yeah. So Python is there, PyTorch, a lot of several program. R is also there. There are several programming languages that you can use to deploy or for the application here. However, so since majority of our participants, maybe mostly they are not computer science background, so some of them don't know programming. Programming is different from machine learning. So without programming knowledge, yeah, somebody can still make use of machine learning successfully by looking at some of the no-coding AI solution or platforms. Even some of the top universities worldwide recently started advertising for this kind of program. They call it no-coding AI, which we started long ago anyway. So this is the thinking that often than not, I've seen a lot of people, they want to use machine learning in their research, but then they register for some online courses, and then halfway they withdrew because they couldn't cope with the programming. They were not understanding the concept. So this is why I say, no, don't scare people with programming. Machine learning is different from programming. If you don't know programming, then I will not be teaching you programming because of machine learning. Learning programming will take its own time. You get the point now. But you can actually use machine learning to solve your problem with the available packages that have been proven to actually be very successful. But for those with programming knowledge, for sure, there are a lot of programming languages also that could be deployed. Now, so question for the area you are working, yeah. So Naive-Bayes, for example, Naive-Bayes is one of the algorithms we mentioned that we already had videos on. It's one of the algorithms that is noted for very unique capability in modeling text-based prediction, you see, or analytics. So if you want to use it, this is going to be one of your maybe priority algorithm to look at. Naive-Bayes, can you use it there? And also preparing the data is more important. If the data is well prepared, for sure, which we have selected for convenience of our members, especially for those who don't have the programming capability. However, the concept is what matters. once you know the concept, you can apply it in any environment, be it R, be it Python, PyTorch, whatever other programming environment you want to use. But getting the principle of machine learning is where the issue really lies. And that was the problem. I noticed that when people register the program, learning programming will divert their attention from the real concept of machine learning. So they ended up not understanding the concept because they were struggling with programming. So that's why I say, okay, forget about programming, focus on the principle. Once you understand the principle, now go and learn whatever programming area you are comfortable with, and then you can deploy it. For example, a company, you might have somebody who's very good in Python, but he got a job with a company that is using C Sharp. They're usually using C Sharp for the application. So he has to go and learn C Sharp, but the principle of machine learning already knew can easily be transferred to the C Sharp environment. I hope that clarify and answer your question. Thank you. So, Mr. Ismail, I think that's the second person. Mr. Ismail.
Okay, assalamu alaikum Dr.
Yes, Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan for the wonderful presentation. It's very beneficial. I have some questions to ask or clarification. So the first one is that based on what we have taught in the class so far about the application of the machine learning in our different domain.
Okay.
So I'm working on a particular intrusion detection system, but it is based on the IoT, Industrial Internet of Things. So as it is aware, although I will need more clarification on it, I was unable to get the real data set, but I've heard in one of your classes that we can still make use of the public data set, and even if explained today when we are referring to the cargo. So I tried to look at the recent data set test bed. So I got one that was done in 2022 by Mohammed and the likes. So it's on the IoT dataset. They name it Edge IoT dataset. And from the reading of what they compiled, I could see that it is assumed that it is better than your IoT.
It's better than
the
what?
Literature I've seen.
We lost your voice temporarily.
That is already okay. Sorry. So from what I've read about that IoT, I discovered that most of the data sets that are being used by the researcher for the IoT application and the likes, they are only IoT based data sets, or even not IoT based data sets. So, but I try to look for those ones that only IoT, that's more specific to IoT.
Okay.
So, and I got some of the data sets like WUSTL, SIOTD, but the recent one that I discovered, it was the one that was done in 2022 by Ferragin. They call it Edge IoT dataset. So when I went to 3, so they have a normal traffic, they have a attack traffic, and there's another one for selected ML and DL. So, but the major issue that I discovered is this: that after when I was looking at the data set, I discovered that they are unary classified data sets. For the normal that has almost 10 folders, so in each of the Excel file, it is a unary classified data set. Like the one will be maybe the distance for the attack can be only backdoor, only DDoS, and the like. So it is not binary and it's not multi-class. So I was unable, when I was trying to use the worker, as I expected, it was not giving any good result, telling that it's a unary data set. So then I tried to combine, to take some data set from the normal attack and to combine with some data set from the attack. So, but the way the data set was programmed, I could not add any other data to the column. So I was not being worried that in this case, what will I do? The data set I have in each Excel file is a unary. So, and if I want to carry out the evaluation, I have to have both the binary data set with the attack data set to have binary or multi-class. So I want you to guide me on this. So that's the number one. Then number two is that in this application now, so there is another concept of using, as I use the ML, I want to compare it with the use of the quantum approach with some of the things that I've seen in terms of the superposition and the likes. So I want you to guide me on it so that I will know exactly what to do. It's a PhD work, so to be precise.
Yeah. What's the second approach you mentioned? Phantom approach?
The quantum approach.
Quantum approach. Okay.
Quantum.
Yeah, quantum.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for the impressive questions. Yeah, the issue you have now is data set. Yeah, data set sometimes could be an issue, a very big issue. So establishing the data set, that is called order. It comes under preprocessing, as you know. Order preprocessing, understanding the business environment, and then be able to get the actual data set. But when you have data set now that is only one class, well, what I would recommend for you is one, you can check out what we call one class SVM. Okay?
Okay.
We call one class SVM is coming up. Yeah, people are facing, so whatever problem you're facing, you are not the first one then. So one class SVM, you can check out about that, read about that. So hopefully it may be able to be applicable. But however, the best thing is to have at least two classes so that you can solve a binary classification problem easily. But one class SVM is being developed, it's being built. So you can read more about that, and hopefully you can engage more also for that in the outside the class later on. Then, so I want to maybe work more on your data. It's your area of specialization. I want to believe there should be a way for you to kind of go inside each of the file to be able to categorize it into maybe two types of attack. Backdoor, all this. Backdoor, all this. Backdoor, all this. I believe by the time we look at the data critically from different angles, we may be able to come up with the appropriate means of getting the data to at least form a binary classification problem for you, because that one is easier, it's well established. But however, if this get to the point that no, it's not possible to do that, then in one class SVM, we might need to actually review it and see. Hopefully, it's going to be appropriate to your own idea. Yeah. As for the second question, which is the quantum edge, one of the new areas that people are exploring, it's just about trying to speed up so the computation of system, depending on from which approach actually we are actually using it. So for those people that work on quantum computing, the facility, the hardware capability also will have to be available. But however, look into your data set is the most important number one thing. Then later you can through contact me privately, then we can then discuss, especially your data set. I think hopefully when we look at it jointly, maybe I'll be able to make some suggestions for you that might hopefully facilitate getting out the best of your data. And still don't lose hope of getting other better data. Every day, new data sets are being uploaded. So let us try as much as possible to check it out repeatedly, regularly. And there are multiple channels also to search for some of these data sets. Sometimes we think they're not available, but we are yet to get it. So hopefully with more effort and less help, so we're going to get something that will be better for your PhD, and I wish you all the best. So try to contact me later. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will contact you after the class to make the schedule, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. So, Mr. Muhammad Balogun.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank
you very much, sir. Everybody for the effort.
Thank you.
What I want to ask is that I'm working on a particular data set, and So what I've been doing, I've tried to get a very good result with it, but it actually what's it called? It's not actually providing the kind of result I want. So actually, whenever I train the data, it usually gives a very high training score. But when it comes to predicting, it gives a very woeful prediction. So what I'm looking now on it, because data usually collected by annually, that is every 2 years. It's something like about logistic competence, something like that. So usually collected by every year, every 2 years. So, and there are some other data. I think what I want to do now is I want to like make the data to be every year. So what I want now to ask is that making that data to be every year, and at least I want to use the previous year to fill a year that follows, like fill forward, like the method of like filling the data forward. So I'm not saying, I'm not going to introduce like a bias, or maybe the analysis might be wrong if I do that. So what is your recommendation, sir?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, for the great effort. Yeah, so the problem you just described is known as overfitting. So overfitting is when your training set is performing well. After training, you check the training, you check the model on the training set, what it has seen before, and it's able to recognize more. But when you test it on unseen data set, performance goes down miserably. This is surely overfitting problem. It means your model is memorizing the data. So yeah, so you have to check on the hyperparameter optimization of the model. So, and the kind of model you are also dealing with matters. So you have to look into how do we handle overfitting. So sometimes when you keep tuning the parameter, for example, you keep tuning the parameter on just because you want to get the best result possible, then it can. If you look at the video, there's a video here, we call it cost of dimensionality. Yeah, if you check out that video, it discusses how we move from normal model to overfitted model. So we have to reverse it rather than doing over parameter tuning. We need to a little bit compromise sometimes. It's good to have little error in training.
I know.
Yeah, we don't want to have 100% in training set, and then in testing set we're having 20%. This is overfitting. So getting 80%, 90% in training, and then getting 90 or 90 something percent in testing is preferable. So the moment your training set start getting 100%, 99, then you could be suspecting that maybe overfitting is already coming in. You may also need to check other algorithms. You may need to check other algorithm for the. You need to check other algorithm for this same data. Other algorithm. I mean, check them. Then from the issue of the way the data was framed, well, it seems maybe it's a time series data where you want to use this year data to predict maybe yesterday data to the previous 5 days to predict 6th day. Then you keep shifting the window. It could be a time series data, or maybe they understand clearly what you mean by you want to use this year to generate next year. However, since the data is provided already, I want to believe pre-processing, checking the data, maybe the need pre-processing, and some other simple principles that might assist us to be able to bypass the overfitting and try to use also support vector machine. It's one of the algorithms that is often praised for not being able to suffer from cost of dimensionality or from not being able to suffer from overfitting problem in most cases. So these are some of the suggestions I can have for you for now. So, but then we can then discuss further. So especially I would like to see the data set physically. Maybe we can have a meeting later so that we're able to see what and what can be done to hopefully avoid the recurring problem. As for some idea came to your mind that, oh, maybe I can do this, but you fear that this might happen. Don't fear. Go ahead and do what you want to do. You get the point. It's always reversible because machine learning gives room for this. You have to keep checking and try several possibilities, several alternatives, and then until you get the final one that's going to work for you. So don't fear that maybe if you do this, it may lead to bias. There's a way we measure the bias. Okay, we can check for bias in the data set. Okay, so if it is bias, then it's going to up. If it is classification, there's a way we can check it. If it is regression, there's also a way we can check it. Okay, so go ahead and try some of the stuff you want to try. If it doesn't work, then we revert back and try other option. Meanwhile, we can then correspond later to discuss it further. Hope that clarifies. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.